right just before these guys hit the road with the Sailing Anarchy report. I'm here on the back end of Wild Oats 11, and I've got boat captain and really project manager now, J.H. John Hildebrand. How did you get into this boat? I mean, you haven't been running her for too long, have you?
No, I've been running it for 3 years now, and but I was involved in the build of it, so it was right from the outset. So I was sort of, luckily enough, I know the boat inside out. It's great.
Yeah, and you know, she just seems to have what it takes to keep on staying ahead of. I mean, what 2005 is this boat built in?
Yeah, 2005. We launched it in early December 2005, and yeah, look, you sort of got to give it to the boys at Rykel Pew. They obviously got the hull pretty right. You know, we've done a lot of modification since and a lot of optimising in appendage stuff, but you know, the thing still slides along. The Silver Canoe still goes pretty well.
Yeah, you know, and with a lot of modern boats and sort of the boundaries continuing to be pushed, this McConaghy built boat just doesn't seem to have any of these problems that some of these other boats that I'm looking over my shoulder I seem to keep popping up with over the past few years. I mean, what's the secret to this thing's longevity?
Well, I think that in the era, you know, it was engineered pretty heavily, and I think possibly, you know, in today's terms, probably over-engineered in a lot of areas. But you know, as a result, it's pretty brick, so we don't sort of have any dramas at all. Never had any real structural issues at all. And everything we do, every modification, we sort of follow up pretty heavily on doing it properly. And
Rykel Pew keeps involved in the whole process with the mods that you make, and is that right?
Well, Rykel Pew have been involved in some of the mods, but we've also used our own guys internally, and also some, you know, AC related guys with a lot of the new technology from America's Cup stuff. So we sort of branch off a bit in our own areas and try and optimise where we can now.
Sort of you know, everyone wants to talk about the big modification you made this year. The what's Mundell calling it? The diving board, the ironing board, the whatever it is. You have a big fin that runs through the middle of the boat. Adds, I think, a half a ton of weight. Is that right?
Yeah, the plank we call it. Yeah, the plank.
Well, I mean, there hasn't been a lot of time gone, a lot of testing and a lot of data, I don't think. But what are your impressions at sort of an early stage here?
Yeah, look, we sort of went into it and we did it in a reasonably short time frame, and we were a bit limited by what we could fit in the boat, you know, so the ergonomics of fitting in the boat and also sort of compromise with the functionality of it. So we sort of could really only go to where we could go with it, and we did a lot of sort of modelling of it and a lot of testing of it on paper and obviously computer stuff, but we haven't, you know, unluckily since we had it in, we haven't had a lot of good conditions for it, so we're sort of short on testing coming into this race, but we had some good opportunities out there as well, so we sort of had a feel for what it was doing, but it's showed some good colours in this race, and we've still got a lot more work to do on it, you know. Maybe we optimise some foil shapes or some angle of attacks down the track, but we're still working on that now.
Yeah. So you're going to stick with it though? You're not going to get out the Sawzall?
No, we won't get out the Sawzall. No, it's something we need to work on and something we need to get some crossovers on a bit more. Certainly adds half a ton of weight to the boat, but we feel in certain areas it can, you know, we've got all the tools in the box now. So
it's definitely a little counterintuitive though. You know, the boat's in the big stuff. The boat likes to dig the bow in and go stick a half a ton up by the mast. Doesn't seem to make all that much sense, but you must be getting something out of it.
Well, yeah, you know, they sort of had a reputation of sticking the nose in a bit these things, but since we did the foil modification, got rid of the forward rudder, and you know, we run our dagger boards now. You can lift them out. You know, it's improved that side of it heaps and heaps. So this, yeah, look at it. It is a bit counterintuitive, but you know, the effects we're getting and the time frames we can use it in, it works quite well. So it's pretty good.
We'll see them start popping up on some of these other yachts.
Well, obviously there's the DSS stuff that is sort of a similar conceptual thing. Although we were trying more to get bow lift out of this, rather than trying to induce riding moment. And obviously we're limited in our board design because of the ergonomics of the boat. But I think we'll see more and more of it in certain styles. Not necessarily, you know, all the way the DSS have gone, but I think people will try a few different things. Yeah, for sure.
You guys got in before the really big shit hit. You know, I know Rags and some of the other boys had 50 plus over the deck. You guys didn't have quite that much, but you had a bit. And you've got it all going on, and you're barreling down the waves at 30 plus knots, and you've got the fro and a tuck, and and Satan is raining down fire from above. What's going through your head? What are you focused on? What are you worried about? Or is it she kind of take care of herself a little bit?
Yeah, look, we sort of know the boat really well in that mode, and we certainly have to all pile up the back here because, you know, we need as much you know, weight as we can in the back corner. So, you know, all the crews stacked sort of after the travel here and really get it going. But you know, the boat really unloads itself in that mode. It can get really heinous if it gets a big heel on, but you know, generally it's pretty good. You know, always the considerations are obviously runner stuff and rig related stuff, and flogging any sails and you know, causing any rig related issues. But aside from that, the boat performs really well. You know, it you know, sometimes sticks it in a little bit, but nothing sort of outrageous compared to other boats, and no, we're very confident with the boat in that sort of mode. You know, and you can trundle along at 30 knots, no problems at all. Yeah.
So next year, you know, set the 70th anniversary, we've got a couple of new beasts joining the world of the big boat maxi. You know, we know about Jim Clark's Animal, and George David's got something new in the works. And what do you got in store for us next year to keep ahead of those boys?
Look, it'd be great. We'd love to do all sorts of stuff, but you know, Bob just loves this boat, and he's on a bit of a roll with a record run for the Hobart stuff. So I'm sure he will want to continue with this boat. Optimisations, we'll obviously do some stuff during the year. I can't see anything big in the picture at the moment, but we will keep that one on tap. But you know, it's always a bit daunting with these new boats because you just don't know. And this year we had a lot of competition. All these guys that come out, we were beaten by Loyal in 2011, and so we know the boats can achieve certain things, and they've all got their sort of certain areas where they really perform in. So it's always a bit daunting. New boats are great, but you know, it's got a little secret mode that can just you know, we can sail it really well, and we know the boat really well. And I think that's our biggest advantage that we went into this race, is that, you know, the guys had all new boats here, but a lot of them hadn't done much time in the water. So I think, you know, we sort of had that up our sleeve, that we all knew the boat pretty well, and we all know how to sail it and in good modes and that sort of thing. So we've done a lot of work during the year on good VMG modes and good you know, performance modes. So we were happy where we're at now.
How is it with working with Ellen and Jono and the guys over at McConaghy's in Mona Vale?
Oh, it's great. We utilise McConaghy's a lot for our modifications and for certain bits and pieces on the boat all the time, and it's always that liaise because they know the boat.
They know the boat as well as you guys do.
Yeah, you know, they've got all the pans, and they know the boat as well as us, and so they're very helpful in that mode. Yeah, great.
What do you think about this trip back? Good weather for you?
Yeah, it should be good. You know, we've got good southwesterly flow all the way back, so hopefully we can turn it around quickly. We should probably beat our time down.
I would hope so. It wasn't a particularly great time down, but it was a good enough time, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, a few years ago we did a run back, and it was you know, 1 day and 17 hours, so quicker than the race record. So that was pretty good. So yeah, it's a great boat to deliver because it just sails so easily and get it right.
Hey JH, it's been great to meet you, and you've been really open with us. I really want to say thank you for all of our readers, and it's good stuff, man.
Good on you.
All right,
Thanks for that.
next year.
Cheers. Thanks.